Returning now to London, where a massive fire has engulfed a 27-storey apartment block, trapping an unknown number of people inside the towering inferno. Residents have been desperately screaming for help from windows on the upper floors as massive flames lick the sides of the council block. About 200 firefighters are battling the blaze. We can go to Catherine Drew now, our correspondent in London. Hello, Catherine. What's the latest?
Well, the latest is that the fire continues on the upper floor. We're seeing live pictures from the scene, and it is truly shocking. The whole block is now black with, but the fire is still raging. Not only smoke, but you can see fire in various apartments, mainly towards the top of the building. It's actually 24 stories, but as you mentioned, 120 apartments. We do know that 30 people have been taken to 5 hospitals in the area, but there are reports that a large number of people are unaccounted for this morning.
Any idea how the fire started?
Well, local residents, of course, are speaking to media at the scene, and there are varying reports. Some people saying that it started on the 2nd floor, some residents believing that it started on the 4th floor. One lady said that she believed it had been started by a faulty refrigerator. So obviously it's very early days, and a full investigation will need to take place, and perhaps it won't be known. The exact cause of this fire won't be known. What residents are saying is that this block, which was built in 1974, very typical of its time, of course, did undergo a refurbishment. It was something like a $12 million refurbishment, which just finished at the end of last year. It put in some communal heating and also exterior cladding to make the building sort of look a bit more attractive, and lots of people are very concerned about this exterior cladding and you know, raising questions about that. But as I say, obviously this will all come out in a full investigation, and this is very early days.
Catherine, are there any fears that it will collapse?
Yes, there are fears that it will collapse, and that has been a fear of the fire service and the emergency crews working there, and they have been working there since 1 o'clock in the morning. Now it's just before 7. Nearby residents have been put on, some have been evacuated, and some have been put on standby that they may need to evacuate their homes. Great deal of concern, of course, that it could collapse. You know, we have seen that before in other apartment block fires. So obviously the whole area is you know, an area that could be under threat. So obviously they're working on that now. At the moment, they're still dousing the fire with flames, and as I said, we can still see flames. You know, the fire very much still going.
Catherine, there were reports that a recent blog from the Grenfell Tower Action Group said that there was a temporary notice in the lift that said residents should stay in their flats in the event of a fire. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not aware of that. That's the first that I'm hearing. I have seen residents complaining in the past, or certainly concerns being voiced about communal rubbish just being left, not being collected, that it poses a fire risk. There's also talk that access to the building would be difficult in the event of a fire. I understand the roads are narrow, as most roads are in London, with parking either side. Obviously, access to the site might well have been difficult. As I say, all this will come out, but no, I hadn't been aware of that notice in the block. Residents are saying that there was only one exit, and so, you know, obviously it's unclear at the moment whether that's true, but several witnesses have talked about there only being one exit, which was the stairwell down.
Thanks very much, Catherine. That's our correspondent in London, Catherine Drew.